welcome to Jungle Vibes. This episode is about how writing nonfiction books can help you expand your brand. So my name is Santini Grunberg, and in this episode I'm talking to you about how you can use book writing to increase your brand, your business, but also how you can, as a writer who is maybe looking for a new way to earn revenue, to publish your book, self-publish your book, and increase your visibility as a writer as well. So it's both for writers, but also for entrepreneurs or creatives in any other industry who want to write books. Because you have to think about it, when you write a book, it's creation of content, and that content can help the reader or the listener, if they listen to it on an audiobook. It can help them gain more insight into your expertise, into your business. For example, if you're a fitness instructor and you write a book about fitness, about how to get a six-pack in 6 weeks, for example, and you guide the writer through it, or the reader through it, that helps, that creates trust, and also shows off your expertise, which will in turn can be converted to sales to the person wanting to purchase one of your services, whether it's online classes or come to your gym, So whatever industry you're in, from artists, music artists, producers, you're in film production, you're in coaching, teaching, anything you can think of, real estate, basically. Writing can really be a way to create your engage your brand and expand your brand name and your brand image, creating brand awareness, basically. But if you're a writer yourself, or you always have aspired to become a writer, it's also very interesting to see how you can, write books or write more books. And sometimes, book writing is very, very, it's very demanding. It takes a lot of time, a lot of preparation, a lot of research. But ultimately, you create something which also, lasts. And think about it beyond your life right now. The book will still be there, and that's the beauty of content. And in this day and age, also, it's digitally available. You can make it in audio forms. You can even create video or film related on your book. Yeah, so in my case, I have started with book writing in 2017, which is now 6 years already. I've been a writer. My first book was called Joyful Ondernemen. It's a Dutch book. It means joyful entrepreneurship. And it's about the 4 steps to become a joyful entrepreneur, and that it's not always about, the highs that you see online or that people share, but that finding the joy in the journey, and especially when you go through those pitfalls, when you have a feeling that you are not getting ahead, but you just go backwards, how can you still find meaning? So it's basically a very, a bit of a self-help, spiritual, but also really clear-cut examples I give from entrepreneurs, internationally renowned entrepreneurs, but also famous Dutch entrepreneurs that I've interviewed. So that's Joyful Ondernemen. You can find it on all the Dutch outlets, bol.com, Bruna, managementbook.nl. It's everywhere because it's in Dutch. My second book was also in Dutch, Denken als Oprah Winfrey, meaning thinking as Oprah Winfrey. It's a leadership book about her leadership style and how she managed to build the empire that she has based on her way of leading people from a very humane, empathetic place, and how managers, leaders can also apply these into their daily lives. And my third book is a bilingual book, English and Dutch, and that's a fiction book. So that's my first fiction book that I've written, and that's Black Suns, Zwarte Zonnen. Black Suns is about 2 girls who live on a faraway planet, and called Zion, and they have 2 suns spinning around in the sky instead of one. And a disaster happens, and the sisters develop superpowers, and they're from Afro. They have an Afro culture from Afro descendants. So it's really a book that also helps inclusiveness in the Afro science fiction superhero genre. And I did this to empower young people, young girls, young boys of color, to also develop their entrepreneurship and leadership skills and see themselves as superheroes. So I used fiction to also bring forth a nonfiction concept, which is entrepreneurship, leadership, empowerment. So having my experience writing books in 2017, 2018, which were officially published through publishers in the Netherlands, and my last book, Black Suns, the Afro sci-fi story, a self-published book, I have seen the difference and learned a lot about that. And in one of the next episodes, I will also talk about self-publishing and how you can do that, also on Amazon.com. But also if you are an aspiring writer, how to get started. Any of these topics I will cover in the next episode. So subscribe wherever you're listening. If you're listening on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you're listening, subscribe. Subscribing is free to the podcast. So make sure you do that, and I will keep you updated about everything creative entrepreneurship, and content creation is also a big part of it, so that you can, I can help you along the way. So I recently met this amazing woman, and she's a writer, and not just any writer. She is a New York Times best-selling author, and her name is Esme Wang. And her essay collection, The Collected Schizophrenias, was a New York Times bestseller, and its publication is the result of her having won the 2016 Graywolf Nonfiction Prize. So she first won that prize, the Graywolf Nonfiction Prize, and then became a New York Times bestseller with her book, The Collected Schizophrenias. Wang's debut novel, though, was The Border of Paradise. And this book has received accolades and kind words from places such as LitHub, NPR Books, and the Chicago Review of Books. She was also selected by Granta for their once-a-decade Best of Young American Novelists list of 21 authors under 40. That's an amazing accomplishment for Esme Wang. And in 2018 also, she received the prestigious Whiting Award for Nonfiction. And she writes essays that have been published in The Believer, Catapult, Hazlitt, and Salon. And finally, her short story, What Terrible Thing It Was featured in the Best American Short Stories 2018 anthology. Amazing. But this is not the only thing that Esme is doing, because she is a great writer. She has won various prizes, and she's also the founder of the Unexpected Shape Writing Academy. And this is a full-service online writing school for people with limitations who want to write personal nonfiction. And the Academy has had phenomenal guest lecturers like T Kira Madden, Hanif Abdurraqib, I hope I pronounced that right, and Leslie Jamison. And their students have gone on to nab book deals and publish in top-tier publications.
Hi, my name is Esme Wang, and I'm an author and the author of the New York Times best-selling book, The Collected Schizophrenias. One question that I often get asked as a writer is not so much where can I get my ideas, but rather, is my idea strong enough or good enough to be considered for a piece, an article, an essay, or even an entire book? It's not so much that people don't have ideas, but that they're not sure if their idea is quite up to snuff. Now, I'm going to give you one small tip here if you are wondering that yourself, which is this idea exciting enough to carry you through months and perhaps even years of writing? And in my live private training, Your Best Nonfiction Topic, I have all kinds of questions to help you figure out how to get down to what your best nonfiction topic will be, including different ways of looking at your topic, ways you could expand or contract your topic, and much more based on my experience. So come join me at Your Best Nonfiction Topic, and I can't wait to see you there.
So not only is Esme Wang an amazing writer and New York Times bestselling author, she also helps others to create amazing books, nonfiction books, and help them create, change people's lives. Because that's what you do when you write books. You create inspiration, content, information, educational, and ultimately also engage in behavioral change. Because if your book touches someone emotionally, mentally, and it encourages them to maybe change something or understand something better or understand another perspective, that helps create a connection between people, within themselves, but also can help them connect to you as the writer or content creator who is maybe offering a product or service that can help their lives. So I really believe in the power of books, and I know that Esme Wang definitely has discovered her formula for success, and that other people can also learn from that. So if you want to know more about Esme Wang, you can follow her on Twitter at Esme Wang, ESMEWANG, and on Instagram it's Esme Wang, also ESME and then WWANG. So there's 2 W's on the Instagram account. And if you want to know more about her online writing academy, go to the unexpectedshapeacademy.com. unexpectedshapeacademy.com, so you don't have to put the in front of it. unexpectedshapeacademy.com. I'm also putting it in the description here of the podcast, so you can read it and then just copy paste it in your browser and go to the website and sign up if that is something that you want to do. Again, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Jungle Vibes. And I also often have some guests, and sometimes you will hear me give you some great inspiration. Thank you for listening. My name is Santini Grunberg, and see you guys next week.